See, I was comfortable in my area, then I had to. Shut everything down and move around.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so briefly, right? Because we were talking earlier. Yeah, you gotta mute your you gotta mute your go eat it.
I'm sorry.
Your YouTube. You gotta mute your YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a playback.
Okay. Can't you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you got a playback in the background where it's double.
I mute my YouTube. I got off the YouTube channel. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I hear playback, so it's like throwing me off.
Is it coming from my microphone?
It's like it's coming your speakers or something like that.
Okay. Is it better now?
No, I hear you, but the playback is. Well, it might be me. Hold on, let me see. I'm blaming you. It might be me. Yeah, it might have been me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay. Oh yeah. I think that was me. My fault. Okay. So anyway, so because you're back, right? We had like a little brief meeting. Do you mind just giving background of yourself again?
Okay, so the background me, like I said, I am a YouTube content creator, if that's what you like to call it. I have my own channel, which is called Tiffany 89, which I deal with a lot of history, particularly African American history and African history in general. And also I talk a little bit about psychology and sociology type of stuff as well, or also look at current events. I subscribe as an African American. Okay.
Because people wanted to know from last time where you FBA or what we call FBA.
No, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for the public. I am not an FBA. I don't identify with FBA. I don't identify with ADOL. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not that. No, it's not that. Okay, so let me just say, when we say FBA, because think about it. You said you're Black American, right?
I am African American. I say I don't identify with the FBA movement. Okay.
No. It's okay. That's anyway,
I don't identify with that.
Yeah, but there's no. See, the thing is with people. Okay, so just imagine like there's a white group, like a white nationalist group, that's like radical. You don't blame the entire white race by this radical group, or like the Taliban. You don't blame the entire population because of the Taliban. So what Tariq and Yvette and these guys did simply was re-identify us, right? Because you are African American and so am I. But before that, we were slaves, and after that, we were Negroes.
We were enslaved Africans.
Right.
We were enslaved Africans.
Right.
Well, our ancestors were enslaved Africans.
Right. I get the terminology, but the Emancipation Proclamation freed who?
It freed the Africans, Americans, the Africans that were enslaved.
Right. So when you're enslaved, the system itself is called, like right now, we're in white supremacy. But if you're enslaved, you're in the system of slavery. But anyway, the point is, when we got here, we were enslaved. You're right about that. Right. But we were called something. White people called us something. It wasn't nothing nice.
Oh, it was the N word. The Nigger word, yeah.
But before that, like when they took us off the boat, right, and they put us right in chains right away. They called us slaves. No, they called us slaves.
Yes, they called us slaves. Yes, right. And colored and niggers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I'm drawing a pattern. So they've been naming us as much as they can. Right. They called us slaves. We were, like you said, we're not slaves. We're enslaved. So they called us slaves. They call us colored, or they call us Negroes first. They call us colored. Right. All the way up until Jesse Jackson made the term African American popular. Okay, so what Jesse Jackson did is the same thing Tariq Nasheed did, and what Yvette Cornell and also the Freedmen people did. All they did was just say, "Hey, we don't like the term African American because they don't believe it's all exclusive." For example, a person from Haiti is Haitian, so they're uniquely different from us. But when they immigrate to America, on the application they can put Black American, but they're Haitian and they're immigrant. So they could benefit from immigration status, and they could also benefit for things that were set aside for people who lineage date back to slavery, Jim Crow, those things. Haitians don't date back to Jim Crow. So if there was a set aside for us and the harm that was caused to us, all the hell we caught from the KKK, from the dogs biting on us, there was no Haitians around. So we don't want people. So if there's a set aside for us only, the same thing, a set aside was set for the Native Americans. A set aside was set for the Japanese when World War II happened. So everybody that was harmed by white people compensated them only. They didn't let other Asians join, right? Or other indigenous people. It's just the people they harmed. So we were the people they harmed exclusively. They didn't harm Haitians back in the slavery and Jim Crow days. So if something is set aside, we don't want people coming over here at the opportunity to take what's set for us. So,
okay, hold on, sir. Can I stop you right there? Can I stop you right there?
Sure,
Let me stop you right there. You're incorrect.
Okay,
you act like those in the Caribbean weren't affected by slavery. Slavery was an international business.
No, of course.
It was an international business. It was not a United States of America business. It was a global commodity. Okay, so that those in the Caribbean, they dealt with the effects of slavery. Those in Latin America,
who enslaved those in the Caribbean?
Hold on. The Europeans enslaved those people in the Caribbean.
But it wasn't the American Europeans, right?
People that enslaved our ancestors also enslaved them as well, and also enslaved those in Latin America.
No, I understand you, sis. But what I'm saying is, you have British, right? British people. You got white people that live in France. You got so basically you got Northern Europeans, you got Southern, you got Western, you got Eastern. All right. So now the UK Britons, they were responsible for our brothers in the Caribbean. They enslaved them. You're right, but that's a different white man than the white man that's in Russia.
They also enslaved us here in America too.
I know. I'm getting somewhere. But the people who enslaved us in America, they were British subjects. They were not. They was not the people in the UK who were enslaving the Caribbean. The people who came over here left and rebelled from UK, sought independence, and then they got us over here. Okay, and then they enslaved us. So the people who enslaved us were no longer in Britain. They was cut off. They fought for independence, and now they over here. And we built America, right? We did. So what I'm saying is, all of the black folks of the diaspora were all enslaved, but they were enslaved by different nations. So the Haitians were enslaved and treated badly by the French, pretty much. The Caribbean was enslaved by the British, and we were enslaved by who we call the Americans. So now, when the Caribbean can't have what's that called, chat? So the Caribbean already had the reparations claim, but guess what? We're not a part of it. They didn't include us because they're saying the UK British, the English, had enslaved us only. The Haitians' claim is against the French, not the Americans and not the Germans. Their claim is just with the French. So you got to be very specific of who
harmed you. All connected. It's all connected. This is the part that I keep telling you. How did you think the French got Louisiana? They were fighting against the British people to take over fighting against the Spanish people. Did you know Louisiana was a Spanish colony before it became a French colony?
Yeah.
They were fighting each other, okay? Right. And after they got done fighting each other, right, then that's when the British took over, all right? So, yes, what makes you think that there was that the French did not have anything to do with slaves here in America?
That's not what I'm saying.
That the French did not have anything to do with slaves here in America? It's not that the Spanish and the Portuguese were one of the first Europeans to go over there to Africa and grab slaves and bring them here to the Atlantic. As a matter of fact, you can look up the history about South Carolina. The Spanish brought Africans from the Congo area to the area that we know today is South Carolina. Back in the 1500s.
Right. And there was no America then. All right. So and there's no Jamaican then. So listen. So I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna ask you a question. So you're right. When the Africans were dropped off, right, different areas, they were all African. But at some point, the Africans in Haiti were called Haitians. The Africans in Jamaica were called Jamaicans. The Africans in America were called Black Americans. At some point, we all went through an ethnogenesis, all of us. Even though we start off as Africans, but we started to develop our own cultures, our own language, our own religion, mores, all that stuff, which made us uniquely different after a while. So Haitians have a different experience, a different worldview than African Americans, the continental Africans, and also Jamaicans. The Caribbean has a different worldview, separate from the Haitians, people over here in America, and the continent, right? And Americans, we have a different experience than those of the Haitians, those of the Jamaicans, and the continental Africans. So yes, we are all, our race is African, our race is Black, all of us. But then our ethnicity is not the same because we went through different cultural experiences. So Haiti has their language and their food. Jamaicans have their language, their culture, how they dress and their food. And Americans, we have our language, the way we dress, and our food. So we're different culturally, but we're the same racially. So as a result, America is responsible for why America. Can you agree that America is the reason why us Black African Americans have an American culture?
Say that one more time.
Okay, so America had their own culture. They had their own holidays, customs, and we took on those, right? So America is responsible for our American culture. Will you agree with that?
You mean as far as the Western culture? Yes, because we were enslaved here. Yes, we picked up on the Western culture, of course. Point. And so also the Caribbean picked up on the Western culture too.
No, wait. No.
Yes. Look, yes, okay, if you said yes.
Do Black Americans do Carnival?
Yes, Mardi Gras. What you think Mardi Gras is?
Wait, no, that's not Carnival. No, that's not Carnival.
What do you think Mardi Gras is? It's a form of carnival. It's similar to Juve, which is celebrated out in Trinidad. It's very similar.
Okay, but all of the carnival came from the Romans, right? So now the Caribbean captives, they used to dress up. So the origins of that are from the Jamaican oppressors, not the American oppressors, because these white people over here wasn't doing that, and the French wasn't doing that. So it was the British who was dressing up and acting a fool, and the Caribbean dressed up mocking them. So when they did it, they dressed up cosplaying, mocking the white folks, the white Romans and those people. But this was only a Caribbean thing. Haitians weren't doing it, and we weren't doing it. It was mainly the Caribbean dressing up, mocking their colonizers. And then when the colonizers left, right, they saw independence, they just made it their own. Like kind of like what we do over here in America. Like we got slang, and same thing with the Haitians. They took French, they remixed and made Creole. So all of us was inspired, or not inspired, but all of us was influenced by our unique white people that colonized us, and we adopted their culture. So the American culture is different from the UK culture. UK culture is different from the Haitian culture. And you can see it from our clothes, our dress, and our languages. Like we had different colonizers. You agree with that? She's on mute.
Yeah, I'm here.
So do you agree that we all had different colonizers as far as customs?
Not 100%. No, not 100%. I mean, yes, you had, because like I said, when we go back to the history about the Atlantic, right? Yes, there were certain ones that went to like various parts of the Atlantic. Like you had the Portuguese that went over there to South America when they brought the Africans over into what is now called Brazil, right? And you had the Spanish also conquer other parts of South America too. But when we talk about United States, you talking about the Dutch, you talking about the the British people. You're talking about the French people. You know what I'm saying? And even with the Spanish people, so it was a combination of multiple, different European group that saying had their own slaves and brought them here to the Atlantic. So yeah, so the same people, and not to mention the British also had land in the Caribbean. They had multiple lands in the Caribbean. Okay, so the same people that took our African ancestors and brought them over here to America also brought them over to the Caribbean and also brought them to Latin America. So what we gonna see that there we are very connected in more ways than we think. We have a lot in common with those in the Caribbean and those in Central West Africa more than what we think because of our bloodline. So no matter what we identify ourselves, no matter if you want to say FBA, ADOS, whatever, your DNA does not change. It's not going to change because it's going to go back to that root where you come from, your ancestry roots, which is Central West African roots. Same with the Jamaican people. Their roots going to go back to Central West Africa. Same with those over there in Brazil, Central West Africa. Same with the blacks in Latin America, Central West Africa. So we have a lot in common. Now, is there differences in how we practice our culture? Absolutely. Is there differences in our language? Yes, but there's also similarities as well. And also what you will learn, like if you look up the history with Miami, for example, right? Not only black people play a pivotal role in Miami, but also the Bahamian people. The blacks from the Bahamas, they also played a role in Miami. When we look at the history of South Carolina, when they speak Gullah Geechee, right, you will think that they're speaking the Caribbean language. Right, it sounds very similar to those in Jamaica. It sounds very similar to those in Barbados. As a matter of fact, the people from Barbados, right, also played a pivotal role in South Carolina as well. See, a lot of people don't know that. So there was always a relationship between African Americans and the Afro-Caribbean people. And when you going back to what you said about the fact that there was no Haitian people that was affected during civil rights movement, or no Caribbean people that was going through the situation here in America. There were people who fought in the civil rights movement. We can name some few, like Kwame and what's his name? Kwame Ture,
Yes.
Stokely Carmichael. Yes. He was originally from Trinidad. Okay. We can go into details about Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier, who was born in Florida, but his parents was from the Caribbean. Okay. Harry Belafonte, who was also a civil rights activist, his parents was from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? But he was affected by Jim Crow. They were affected by racism. All right. So they didn't look at them and say, well, okay, these people are Jamaican, they are Haitian, so we're gonna treat them differently. We're gonna give them a slap on the wrist. We're gonna treat them fairly or whatnot. No, they didn't look at them like that. They looked at them as, hey, you all are black, you all are Negroes at the end of the day. So if that was the case, a lot of them wouldn't even end up in the hood. They wouldn't end up in a project. They wouldn't end up, living in poverty. I know people personally.
Wait. So
hold on. I know people personally who have a Caribbean background, okay, who's coming from Africa, but guess what? They grew up in the hood. Let's take Biggie Small, for example. Biggie Small, mama is from Jamaica, but Biggie grew up in the projects in Brooklyn, New York. His mama couldn't afford to live in no mansion. She couldn't afford to live in no middle class community. He had to live in the projects.
All right, so let me step in. So you just said we mean black people globally, have different cultures, different history, and different languages. Right. And those very differences is the reason why we're called different names, i.e., Jamaican, Nigerian, FBA, or ADOS. Okay, now you said Kwame Ture joined he was a civil rights activist, right? Well, let me correct you. He joined the march as a Pan-Africanist, okay? He joined the march as a Pan-Africanist, one. Two, he joined the march as a current immigrant. So he didn't join the march how we joined the march. We joined the march because our civil rights were being violated for 100 years and we were locked out of wealth for 100 years. He joined because he's a Pan-Africanist. He joined to promote his Pan-Africanist ideas. Also, he joined to, he's an immigrant, so he was for immigration. We knew nothing about immigration. We're not immigrants. We don't know anything about that. Okay, so is that the reason why? Was he the reason why the Immigration Act was signed the very next year? So you're bragging about a Pan-Africanist immigrant, but I'm saying for joining our march, but I'm saying, was he the reason that the Immigration Act was passed the very next year, which undermined our 100-year march? Okay, that's a question for you. Well, you named 3, 4, 2 Black immigrants who joined the march, and all of a sudden they get equal credit like us, which is retarded. White folks also joined the march. Are white folks credited for the march? No, it was our march, our fight. We were locked out, not them, not white people, not Black immigrants. That's cat. What else I write down? Okay, you said they were in the hood. So what does that mean? But why were they in the hood? That's the question I got back to you. Why were they in the hood? They were in the hood because they came over here probably as illegals. Because immigration, we normally want people to come over that bring some type of benefit, education or money. Okay, we don't really allow the brokies to come over. So illegals, when they come over, they're the brokies, by the way. And look what the brokies do. So I'm gonna tell you why they were in the projects. They were brokies who probably most likely were illegal, and they came over here, legal or illegal. They came over here with no money. They became a burden on society, and as a result, they had to seek welfare assistance or housing. And housing, HUD, okay, HUD, PHA, put them in the projects. So that's how they got to the projects, man. They got to the projects not because they want to move there. They got to the projects because they had nowhere else to go, and housing set them up over there. They were not going to set them up in white America. They put them in projects near us.
I mean, okay.
That's what we do know. They were in Jamaica for the most part.
Okay, you are stuck on Jamaica like there's nothing else going on. Like,
no.
like you just stuck on Jamaica. Like
it says, if you listen to my words, and don't
watch this. Hold on. It says in the 1920s, West Indian Americans were a growing population in the United States, experiencing a significant wave of immigrants.
Share your screen.
Can't you see my screen? You can't see my screen.
No, I'm looking at you.
Okay, hold on.
And your hoop earrings. Your Queen Latifah earrings. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, these ain't Queen Latifah earrings at all.
All right, well, Moni in the middle, all right?
Yeah. All right, so in 1920, right? Okay, and you can look this up on AI if you got AI.
Nah, I'm looking at your screen. Okay.
Okay. But I'm just saying, just for future reference.
Go back to the top. We're gonna read all. We're gonna read all that.
Let me read it to you, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, in 1920, West Indian Americans were a growing population in the United States, experiencing a significant wave of immigration from the British West Indies, particularly during the first 3 decades of the 20th century, with the peak occurring in the early 1920s. Most of these immigrants were laborers who found work in areas like New York, South Florida, and Massachusetts, often working in manual labor jobs due to limited opportunity available to them.
Okay, go ahead. Large influx. Go ahead.
Okay, now over here it says the United States and the Caribbean, 1877 to 1920. There's another article over here.
No, yeah, but we're not finished with the first article. Let's finish there first.
Okay, good.
Where's the AI at?
It's right here.
Yeah, I want the AI article.
Okay, so wait. So the first major wave of West Indian immigration to the United States occurred between 1881 and 1915, with many working on the Panama Canal before migrating further north.
Okay, stop right there. Many means most.
Yes, of course, duh.
Okay, right. So now check this out. So that's my point. I'm saying when they came over here, they came over to do a job. They came over here to build the canal, and that's what they did. Now maybe a few stuck around, but that's okay. So now many of them, most of them are in the canal. All right, so now let's keep reading. Go ahead.
Okay. It says major source countries. The majority of the West Indian immigrants in this period came from British colonies and checkmate British colonies.
Right.
Okay, but no. Let's going back to earlier where you was talking about slaves and all of that, and saying that the British did not. Yeah. So that's the
I said the British. So look, I'm saying their reparations is gonna come from the British, not American reparation, not Haitian reparation. Their reparations come from the British. Haitian reparations come
there
from
was no reparation for them. These people had to fight for independence. They didn't get no money till they come.
No.
Hold on. You know that Haiti still owe money to France.
Right. It says they all got reparations claims.
They ain't get no reparation. If you
no. Listen,
you don't get no reparation.
Sis, listen, hold on.
The Haitian fought for independence.
Wait, just listen for a second. Slow down. I'm not even debating you. I'm just
because you're wrong. There was no reparation.
Look, I did not say that. I said reparation claim. If I got an insurance claim, if I got a lawsuit claim, I didn't win yet. It's a claim to be won later. So they
how long is it going to take for the Haitians to win their claim against the French people if they owe money to French?
All right, look, let's finish reading first, and then we'll talk about that. Let's finish reading.
I want you to ponder on that for a moment, please. Thank you. All right. So the majority of the West Indian immigrants in this period came from British colonies like Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados. All right. And the labor market, right? These immigrants often took on low-wage jobs in agriculture, construction, and domestic work. And then down here where it says the urban concentration, while dispersed across the country, a significant number of West Indian Americans settled in major cities like New York City, where they contribute to the cultural fabric, especially in Harlem. Now, despite their growing numbers, West Indian immigrants faced discrimination. Hold on, faced discrimination and limited opportunities due to racial prejudice.
Okay,
Now,
now wait, 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 wait.
What
Wait,
makes
wait,
you
wait.
think they weren't dealing with prejudice?
Okay, wait, no, no, the word wasn't prejudice, man. The word was Jim Crow.
It
Wait,
says
wait.
racial prejudice right there. I read it. How you gonna,
Tiffany, hold
I
on.
just read it to you.
Tiffany, hold on. Slow down. Stop. Slow down.
No, you stop, because you all over the place right now.
No, listen, just have a
You're
conversation.
all over the place, sir. Please be in line.
Tiffany, have you ever suffered prejudice growing up in your life? Experienced it?
I'm quite sure I have.
Okay, were you in the system Jim Crow when you experienced it?
No, I was not in the system of Jim Crow.
Right, and neither were they. They're up north.
Well, let me walk you through. It said Jim Crow laws in Florida were a set of segregation laws that prevented Black citizens from using the same facility as white citizens. These laws were in place from 1860s through the 1960s. Example of Jim Crow laws in Florida: public transportation. Passengers were assigned to specific seats.
Public transportation.
Based on race. Hold on, it's more. It's more.
Are you serious?
It's more. If you're looking at the screen, it's more. It's more. Schools, Black students were educated in separate schools that were often underfunded. Beaches, Black people were not allowed to use public beaches. Restrooms, Black people and white people were not allowed to use the same restroom.
What's so bad about that? We're talking about the South, though.
Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna have to end this conversation because I can't.
No, listen.
No, I can't. And you said what's so bad about that? Did you just ask what's so bad about Jim Crow in Florida?
No. What's so bad about things you're reading? I'm saying Jim Crow in the South, where people were being humped.
Yes, Florida is in the South.
Tiffany, people were being. We got a book called 100 Years of Lynching.
Hold on. Cause see now you just tried.
That was some
song. You just tried it. You just tried it.
There were some blacks that would love this. There were some blacks that would love that.
Disrespectful what you just said. That is disrespectful to those people.
Separate beaches?
No. That is disrespectful. Because you don't know what they experience a lot of hardship out there.
Why didn't Dr. King march in Florida?
Hold on, it ain't about that. But when Dr. King spoke on everything.
I'm saying, but he went to the worst. But he went to the most racist places in America.
He still was addressing Black issues here in America.
Alabama's another state. I'm saying, but he went to the worst racist states to demonstrate, to practice his civil rights.
No.
Why he go to Florida?
No. How we know that he never went to Florida?
Because we know where he went.
What you just said, hold on, let me stop you right there. What you just said was downright disrespectful. That's disrespectful what you said. That's some soft stuff. Well, put yourself in these people's shoes and see how it feels to go through the hardship that they had to endure. You can't go to the beach. You got to find somewhere else to go. You can't even go to a public restaurant. You got to go to the most filthiest bathroom. You can't even get proper education. You know what I'm saying? Because the books that you reading or you learning from, they are so bad and they torn up and they terrible. And the school itself is in terrible condition. And you don't say that this is some soft stuff. What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why would you call yourself a foundation of Black Americans, say you stand up the concept of for Black people, but you gonna sit up here and say what the people in Florida dealt with was some soft stuff?
That was soft.
No, that's not soft. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Sometimes.
Are you crazy? I want you to tell this to the elderly Black folks that experience. As a matter of fact, I want you to tell that to the Black folks.
Hey, Tiff, can you see my screen?
They experienced the racism in Florida. They experienced the segregation in Florida. I want you to look at these older Black people and tell them that what you was going through in Florida was some soft stuff.
Can you see my screen?
Bruh. I can't believe it. I can see your screen.
Okay,
but so you can't. I'm not letting you off the hook on this one. I'm not letting you off the hook. I'm not letting you off the hook.
Woosah.
Nah, that's crazy though. That's disrespectful, man. That's just downright disrespectful. What you just said. That's downright disrespectful.
I'm gonna read this right here.
I'll let you read it.
Okay, thank you, sis. It says, "How much do Britain owe Jamaica?" It doesn't say America. It doesn't say Haiti. It says, "How much do Britain owe Jamaica?" It says, what is the Caribbean Reparations Commission? Okay, not the Haitian, not the Black American, the Caribbean Reparations Commission. The CARICOM Reparations Commission is a regional body created to establish the moral, ethical, and legal case for the legal case for the payment of reparations by the governments of all the former colonial powers and the relevant institutions of those countries to the nations and people of the Caribbean community, not Black African Americans, not Haitians, for the crime against it. So again, every Black country in the diaspora, we have our own country to sue, and that's the people who colonize us. So Jamaicans are going to sue Britain. The Haitians are going to have a claim against the French. And African Americans, our claim is with America. We all have our separate claims. So what Jamaicans are owed, Black Americans has nothing to do with that. We're not tied to that. It says the Caribbeans only. Haitians can't go to Britain and say, hey, I want some of that Jamaican money. That's not going to happen. Just like Jamaicans and Haitians can't come over here and say, hey, I want some of that reparation money y'all about to get. And we can't go to Haiti and say, hey, I want some of that. That can't happen. If you're not from the West Indies, you're not part of the CARICOM Reparation Commission. If you're not from America, you're not part of the ADOS and whatever stuff we got over here. And if you're not Haitian, you're not part of what they got going over there. Okay, so I just want to show that. So the reason I'm showing this because I was explaining why we have these terms like ADOS, freedmen, American freedmen, and we have FBA, because that's our way. How Jamaicans say to Jamaican, Haitians say to Haitians. This is our way of saying we are this and nobody else Black is. You're still our family. We still love you. We're also from Africa, but we are this. You're Haitian.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is. It's identity crisis. That's what it is. It's identity crisis because we don't want to accept our lineage here. A lot of us do not want to accept that. A lot of Black people do not want to accept the fact that they come from African descended bloodline. They don't want to accept that.
But we're called African American.
Hold on. They don't want to accept that they also got some Caribbean in their bloodline. I can show you my DNA.
I got no Caribbean.
I can show you my DNA test.
I got no Caribbean in me at all. Zero.
I do. I got some Caribbean in me.
Okay, well, there you go.
Okay.
No.
I can show you my DNA test.
You might have a CARICOM claim.
I can show you my DNA test. I can show you I got, a lot of African.
All right, let me unshare.
I can show you. I can show you my genetics. I can go to Ancestry.
I want to see when you better get your money. You better get your money in Jamaica then.
Nah, I mean it ain't about that, but again, it's all connected. That's the part that you fail to understand. It's not it was just a Jamaican business, it was just a United States business, or it was just Haitian. No, this was.
I forgot. So after you show that, I forgot to ask you about. You said you're RBG, right?
I don't claim myself to be RBG, but I'm an African American that identifies with the Pan-African ideology.
Okay, there you go. We want to know about that. When you get a chance, we want to know about the Pan-African ideology.
Well, let me post up my DNA information.
Daddy,
my ancestry. I'm trying to pull it up. Oh goodness. Okay, hold on. Okay. I don't know if you can see my screen. Can't you see my screen?
Yes, I see it right now.
Okay. So this is my ancestry DNA. Okay. Now, right here it says 30% Nigerian. Okay. 17% Benin and Togo. 13% Mali. 7% Ivory Coast and Ghana. 6% Nigerian Woodlands. All right, and then you're gonna see where it says the Cameroon 6%. All right, 5% Western Bantu peoples, 4% Yoruba land. All right. And then it shows the ethnic group. Okay, you see all the ethnic groups on here?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Well,
where's the Caribbean?
All right, let me go down to here. Let me.
You went down. I seen it. I seen white man, but I ain't see no Caribbean.
It's on here. I have to.
No, it's not. I'm looking right there.
No, I'm trying to find it. Maybe it's on.
But you ain't got to look no further. It's not there. But you have Scottish, France.
Yes, and I also I do have some Caribbean. That's all my okay. I have to go on my 23andMe. That's why I have to go on because see.
No, stay right here. No, don't try to just chase. Stay right here.
No, because it's pretty much similar, and see a lot of stuff like Ancestry don't show as much as 23andMe does, so it's like they have to catch on with what 23andMe is doing. So let me see.
Yo, Hazard, you are crazy, yo.
I mean, and that's another thing. Y'all don't believe in no DNA test either.
Oh, no, yes, we do. No, we
y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't. Y'all don't believe in no DNA test.
Ma'am, if you look at my channel, I got chemistry videos. I'm explaining, sharing chemistry. So no, I'm definitely pro science.
Well, maybe I gotta go with the origins. Okay.
I'm chemistry literate as far as the basics.
Okay. All right. So I gotta go back to origins.
We don't believe this. DNA test. You crazy?
I'm telling you, a lot of FBAs don't believe in DNA tests.
Yeah, they be capping because once that test says you are 99.9 not the father, you're gonna get up and start dancing. So he believes in DNA.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. I think I seen something.
You did see something, but it wasn't West Indies. You seen France?
No, but
Nigerian.
Hold on.
It's okay. You don't share.
Yes, I do share. I can go on my 23andMe.
You might share the carnival costume. That's about it. But you don't share.
Shawty, you disrespectful, bro. That's what you a disrespectful.
You call that disrespectful?
I know that about you. You just straight disrespect. You just low key dissing and all that, like, bro.
That's called dissing you.
No, I'm just saying you just dissing. You might as well be dissing Black history altogether because that's what you're doing. But anyways, okay. So since it's not showing on here,
it doesn't show nowhere. You're not West Indian.
Okay, but I can go to 23andMe. I got some, like I said, I got some Caribbean in me. I can go to my 23andMe.
Nah.
Just say yes, I can. I can do that.
The only Caribbean you got to use the ox tells you 8. That's it.
Hey, Shad, stop being disrespectful because I can go there. I'm trying not to go there because you're going to make me get off and be real disrespectful to you. I'm trying not to go there.
That was a joke.
I'm trying not to go there. Let's keep it civilized. Let's keep it respectful because I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like a bad guy because I done went there with you.
Oh, my God.
Because you already sound crazy as shit right now, to be honest. You sound crazy. Right, so here's the other part of the diaspora, all right, which is the early Alabama and Georgia African American. Okay, so that's my other half.
Right, FBA. I mean, Black American.
No, it's African American. I mean, you can have the FBA stuff.
Okay, African American, FBA, same thing.
Not really, because y'all on some other crap. Y'all on some other crap, but okay, but I'm gonna let you live with that. So, but just to show you, right here where it says my connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I should, yeah.
It says no results found.
What you mean?
Like you look for something on Google and it's not there. They'll say no results found.
Okay, well. It probably ain't, because it's supposed to explain the details, the origin behind it.
Oh, it did. It said you are
no.
African.
Where?
Remember earlier it said Nigeria. That's
no. It explains like for the diaspora. It's supposed to explain.
Nah.
It's supposed to explain, the origin of, the African Americans and how, etc. Like it goes. Let me see. Maybe I have to go into journey.
Now you can stop sharing. We could talk about something else.
No. I got something else to share with you because I'm about to. Okay, so yeah, see, yeah, I should have did 23andMe. I mean, the result is pretty much similar. It's very similar, but it's just that Ancestry is not as upgraded as 23andMe, and they have to be upgraded. So let me go on my 23andMe page.
No.
Yes, I am. I'm going to take you there because it's like I said, my result is very similar. It's just they have to. The only thing is not really upgraded on Ancestry. It's the Caribbean part. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't have a lot of stuff updated like 23andMe does. Hold on. Okay.
Hey sis, do you know you could be FBA and Pan-Africanist at the same time?
No, they don't work with me. A lot a lot of FBAs have a problem with those who identify as Pan-African.
Yeah, you see that?
They call people tither or whatever that term is.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we're called a kata, we're called Yankee, so we have our own term.
A Yankee by who? Who calls you a Yankee?
The West Indies.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna play those semantics with you.
Right. So but the difference is that when they say Yankee, that's all of us. When they say kata, that's all of us. When we say tether, that's not all of them. That's just the class that disrespectful and hate us. But not all black immigrants are tethers, because not all of them hate us. Some of us love us.
So if that's the case, then why they use the term?
Because you got okay.
So here's my information.
Wait, let me ask you a question. When it comes to white folks, they're not all racist, but the ones who are racist, we call them racist. So there's a term for all bad groups.
Okay, all right then. Okay, anyway. Okay, so here it is. If you can see my 23andMe.
Yes, ma'am. West African, Nigeria. Got it.
Yes. Okay. So now 23andMe, this is how they lay it out. Now some people on their results, they have the ethnic group shown on their 23andMe. For some reason, my ethnic group is not shown on here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what, as you can see, is 100%. Of course, that's me. 90.6% sub-Saharan African, which is.
How much was this test?
I did this some years ago. This part was like $50, somewhere like that.
That's it. Oh, so what you have to do?
$55 somewhere like that. I can't exactly remember.
So what you do? Swab and just send it back?
Yes, you have to spit in the tube and send it back. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yes. I encourage you to do it.
I know I got no West Indian in me at all.
Okay,
Zero.
so watch
just
this.
like you.
Okay, so watch this. West African, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 78.7%.
That's a lot.
What? Nigerian, 42.2%, and that's very common with the African Americans.
Right.
A lot of us have more Nigerian ancestry than any other West African group. Okay, now we go down here to the
you sound country. Wait. What state you in?
I think I just told you before. You ain't hear me when I say Georgia.
Oh, damn! You way more country. You must be like Southern Georgia or something.
No, I'm in Georgia.
You ain't near the city.
I'm in the city.
Wow. Well, that's not where you're originally from.
Okay. Now down here where it says African diaspora, which is very accurate and very correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Also what Ancestry put on there. See.
But I don't see no West Indies though.
Oh no, it's on there. I'm just gonna pull it. I'm about to pull it up, but see.
Yeah, I'm about to put my glasses on since I look for this one right here.
Okay, it's right here. It's right down here at the bottom.
It says 0.
It's right here. Do you see where it says Caribbean? That's the West Indies. What you call 0. No, it doesn't say 0. Okay, so it says what? Jamaica. Okay, now watch this. It says Jamaica has 14 administrative regions. You share DNA with 23andMe participants who mostly frequently report their ancestors are from the following 2 regions: St. Andrews Parish.
Yeah, but I don't see a percentage.
That is West Indies, Jamaica.
No, I don't see a percentage.
No, of course it's not a percentage per se. It just showed the region where where my ancestors came from as far as the Caribbean. So more than likely they were from St. Andrews Parish and Westmoreland Parish. So they don't give a percentage of how many da 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 da. Okay. They only give a percentage when it comes to the African and also like European descent. So for my European descent, it's 8.7%. Okay.
Hey, so I only got 7 likes. And we got the glorious Tiffany on here. I got 7 likes. God damn, y'all hating on me.
And right here it's got 90.6%. Okay. Okay, so
yeah, everybody sent Tiffany $100. It's it. I want my cut. I want 30%.
nah,
I want 30%.
they ain't finna send me no $100.
I want 30%. Can I get 30? If they do, can I get 30%? What? You get 2,600. I can't get 30% of
that. I don't know, bro.
You hop on tomorrow, it might be 100 folks on here. Yeah, you fuck around and
yeah, they probably ain't coming on here because they don't want to hear my voice. I don't care.
No, it's Friday and you got other. See, what happens is when you go online, it's all about timing. Like I don't care, I just go live. But other people on live, it's Friday, so everybody's off. So everybody's like into like the bigger platform. But like a Tuesday, a Wednesday night, the numbers go crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but right now we're competing with larger platforms.
Oh, well. Okay, but anyways, yeah, that's my information. That's my DNA test. So I'm saying to say that I have no reason to be no FBA, no nothing.
You do.
No, I don't have no reason, and I wish you would stop doing that.
Okay, can you just take out 2 minutes for me to say?
Wait. Now you're trying to use coercion.
No. I'm saying I'm trying to use patience. I said, can you just give me 2 minutes to explain? Is that okay?
You can go ahead and explain, but I'm gonna dispute it.
No, I'm saying no. You don't have to accept it. I'm just saying, can you just listen?
I'm gonna listen to it.
Thank you. Okay, so like I said before, if Black immigrants come over here, they're Haitian. They got their own flag, their own country, but they are able to select Black African American on the application, and now they're classified as one of us. But if we go to Haiti, nothing we do will be classified as a Haitian, right? So America, like that's America disrespecting Black Americans by letting anybody come over here. Well, not anybody, but Black immigrants come over here and identify exactly with us. Meaning that when you say you're Black American, you're basically saying that your lineage goes back to slavery in America, okay? And that's not true. They had their own slaveries in their own native countries. So we feel like white folks are disrespecting us because they don't want to repair the damage they did to us. So instead of doing that, they would rather just bring other folks over here and try to replace us. They try to ignore the problem rather than solving it. So we like, all right, listen, we're done with the word game. You say Negro, you say color, you say African American. So we're the whole continent in a country. There's nobody in Africa called African Nigerian, African Lebanon, African Haiti. What? These terms, no, I'm saying officially. Like no Jamaican say I'm African Jamaican. Like
yeah. Okay.
Like okay. I just went there, ma'am. It says if you go to a map, if you look, listen. If you go to a map, it's going to say Jamaica. It's not going to say African Jamaica. I'm saying like
you don't think there's Jamaican people that identify with being Black or being African?
Hey, Tiffany, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Haiti is spelled H-A-I. It's not spelled A-F-R-I-C-A-N. Jamaica.
So you don't think the Haitians identify themselves?
No. I'm not, Tiffany. I'm not saying what they identify with. I'm saying in their name, their country is called Haiti. Their country is not called African Haiti. I'm saying that. I'm saying Trinidad and Tobago is not called African Trinidad and Tobago.
Of course it's not. It's not called that.
Right. Nobody has, as the identifier, nobody has in the diaspora or even the continent. It's not called African Nigeria. It's not called
No,
African.
but don't identify as being African.
No,
What
no.
are you saying?
Tiff, I'm not Tiff. I'm not speaking about identifiers right now. I'm
The
speaking.
continent is called Africa.
Tiffany, you gotta listen to me. You're not listening.
I'm trying, but you is all over the place. Oh my God.
Because you're not listening.
I'm trying to listen to you, but it's like you just bouncing off the wall. You gotta be parallel.
So look, okay, watch this. Look at my screen. I'm gonna show you something.
Okay. But I'm gonna tell you this, they do identify as being African.
I'm not speaking about identifying.
They identify being black. So of course, yeah, but Africa is a continent.
Right. And nobody, again, if you ask a man from Ghana, what is he? He's going to say Ghana. He's not going to say I'm African Ghana.
He's going to say he's African. If he's in America, he's going to say I'm from Ghana, but he's going to say I'm an African.
No, Tiff, listen what I'm saying to you. Listen.
And do you know they have Pan-Africanism over there in Africa?
No problem. Listen what I'm saying right now. See, look, you're going somewhere else. You're over the place. I'm saying
no, you are all over the place. You say they don't identify as being African.
Tiff,
when they come here, they'll tell you they're gonna tell you what country they from. They're gonna say they African.
Right? No, Tiff. We're not. No, that's a continent. If we ask him what country he's from, he's gonna say Ghana. Okay. If we ask the guy where he's from, he's gonna say Rwanda. He's not gonna say.
Yes, but he's gonna also tell you he's African.
No. Listen. What I'm saying is, when you ask him where he's from and what he is, he's gonna say, "I'm from Ghana. I'm Ghanaian." If you ask another guy where he's from, he's gonna say, "I'm from." Let's say, I don't know. Just give me a country. Liberia.
Liberia. Zimbabwe.
Look, Liberia, and I'm a Liberian. He's not gonna say, okay, Tiff, listen what I'm saying.
And then you ask them, well, where is those places?
No.
Africa.
But I'm not asking about the continent. I want to know who he
is. They're gonna say, I am African, but I am from Liberia.
No. Hey, Tiff, when you ask somebody like a Spanish person, where you from? He's gonna say Venezuela. He's not gonna say South America.
Some of them do say South America.
No. If I say De Donde, he's gonna understand I'm specifically asking him, where do you live? What country? Not what continent.
Yeah, they gonna tell you what country. Yeah, what country?
Right. Exactly. So when you ask a white person overseas in Europe, let's say West Europe, where you from? If they're from France, listen, they're not gonna say I'm from European France. They're gonna say I'm from France. If I ask an Indian where you're from, he's not gonna say Asia, India. He's gonna say I'm from India. So back to the African. If I ask a Liberian where he's from, he's going to say Liberia. And I say, okay, well, what are you? He's going to say Liberian. The word Africa is not going to come up unless I say what continent are you from? And then he'll say Africa. But with us, why are we the only black people that list a continent with our? Because
of our answer. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm just gonna leave this alone, but I'm gonna say this, and I'm about to just go. Okay?
You gonna mention Cash App though?
Okay. I like colors. All right. So I'm gonna post my Cash App up on Unbiased channel. Okay, I'm gonna post this Cash App up, but I'm going to say this to you guys out there that's listening. Okay. The reason why we identify as being African because of our African ancestry that we carry, okay? And I meant to say this earlier, speaking of that, you were saying that Jesse Jackson came up with the term African American.
No, he didn't come up with it.
No, that term African American being used.
I know, I said
for a long time, okay? And then before and after that, there was a term called Afro-American.
Which we hate. Okay? We hate that one because I don't have an Afro.
Okay, Afro basically just goes back to being African descended. That's all it means.
I don't like the word Afro. I find
that's fine. You know, you don't have to like the word, but I'm just telling you that's what our people also identify themselves as. Okay, but I just want to make a correction because people tend to think that Jesse Jackson was the one that came up with the term.
Yeah, no, but you never explain what Pan-Africanism is. You never explain that.
No, I'm not, because at this point I don't know, because it's like it's it's like, I don't know, man. It's like you just all over the place at the moment. I can't even.
We're getting to
can't
know
even
each
think
other.
I can
Yeah,
continue
it's
on
gonna
with
be
the
like that.
conversation. I don't think I could continue on because it's like it just baffles me at the things that you're saying. You asking the question why we the only people saying the word African or
Yes,
using
why?
African American when I just basically said because of our African ancestry. It's like, oh my God,
So
I don't even know.
how come Jamaicans
I
don't
don't
say,
know.
hey, okay, so when Hussein Bolt broke the records, I don't recall a news article saying African Jamaican. The word Africa is
No.
never.
Oh my goodness.
The word Africa is never mentioned when it comes to Hussein Bolt. Not one time. When it comes
When
to
it
Bob
comes to
Marley,
who?
Jamaicans. When it comes to Bob Marley, right? Any article on Bob Marley, it never says, hey, the African Jamaican singer, but it never says the word Africa.
You never heard of Afro Jamaican, Afro Ghanaian?
No, I'm saying.
I'll tell you what.
I'm saying
Thank
when.
you for having me on.
Oh my God.
Thank you for having me on. But I'm gonna go ahead and just end it from here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna end it here. But I do appreciate this because
Okay.
we're not getting anywhere. We're really not getting anywhere.
Okay.
It's really you're starting to drive me crazy. So I'm just gonna be straight up honest. And I'm surprised I lasted this long. I'm really surprised I lasted this long. So
that's because I'm good. That's what you like. I'm good
no.
today.
It ain't about you being good because you just all over the place. I'm surprised I had this much patience. I'm really surprised.
You had little patience from the beginning.
I had this much patience to tolerate to listen to all of this. I had so much patience for this. But okay. But anyways, you have a good night.
Okay.
And you just have a good night. All right.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. Peace. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you for having me on. Peace.
Yes, man. Thanks for coming.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like ever since I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage? Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, ever since I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage?
What's this whole ADOS movement? And how is this? How is that not something that's kind of divisive amongst people in this country? Like how do we decide who's who?
See what I'm saying? How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to
That's
me,
foul.
I see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to get oh, word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that. You know.
And on the list of tangibles, I would assume that that's where this ADOS comes in, because I'm thinking that certain people would hope that the tangibles, that the part of the tangibles would be reparations for the ADOS movement. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what I'm to believe? Now,
not just that, but definitely number one on the list.
Right.
I definitely have something when you're ready, Jay. I like to have
Yes. Before you add on, I just would like to say, now there's some that feel that this movement is quite divisive and just another way to divide black people.
Foundational black Americans, because over here in the North American continent, us foundational black Americans, we are the founders of the United States. There was no United States until foundational black Americans built it. So we are acknowledging our own designation. So that's not divisive, because other groups do this.
And I just feel like we need to come together as black people, you know what I mean, as much as possible. And it just feels like that type of thought, and I understand where you're coming from with it, but it feels like that type of thought helps to divide instead of bring us more together.
Okay, this is the problem, Lord Jamal. That division is caused by non-FBA. Foundational black Americans, we have been the only people fighting for everybody.
First of all,
Period.
you know, there's a lot of divide and conquer with this. There's a lot of bullshit that goes into this talk of reparations. You know, as far as who gets it, and
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right. So a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you think.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation. Or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation, because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over, because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim. We can't open up that door, and this is for several reasons. If we start letting African and Caribbean brothers start getting reparations based on the Jim Crow treatment, then what's going to happen? The damn white Hispanics are going to start saying, okay, well, damn it, I was mistreated too. And then it's going to undermine the reparations claim. We respect CARICOM. Over in the Caribbean, they have a reparations movement.
My thing is, there was a lot of suffering done by all of us at different times in America. I don't give a fuck if you got to America 5 years ago, from whatever fucking country. If you black, you're gonna go through you're gonna suffer some bullshit.
Let's just say we all get $2 million, all black people that can prove it, that, they have lineage here in these North America, and they were slaves here, and they get $2 million. What the fuck do you think these motherfuckers are gonna do with that money? Fuck. They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours sometimes in the motherfucking black community. Needs to be running around with, like, the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all the guns and, and Mercedes and blinged out, it would just be fuck. They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours sometimes in the motherfucking black community. Needs to be running around with, like, the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all.
Are you Ados?
Here's the thing. On my father's side, no. Okay? We trace back to Guyana. Okay?
So Caribbean then?
South American, yes.
Oh, Guyana's not
It's
Caribbean?
a Caribbean, it's in South America, but it's considered Caribbean in a way.
Got it.
It's one of
the because whenever I go
South
to
American countries.
the West Indian Day Parade, I'm pretty sure I see Guyana flags flying around.
In South America.
Right.
Just like you might see Honduras or something like but that's all in South America. So anyway, now my mother is adopted, so I don't know her. I still got to do some research on you know what I mean? I actually discovered one side of her father. Now I got to trace where his family's from, but I did the trace on my father's side. So on that side, no, I'm not Ados. It's possible I'm on my mother's side I am. But see, again, that's some bullshit.
But anyway, who here in America are direct descendants of the slavery, and I'm assuming that that happened here on this land in America, and they're probably not even thinking about South America or anything like that. But let's just say they're isolating it to just here in just America. Well, now immediately they've isolated the South Americans.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right. So a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you.
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama, North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right.
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slave,
there are outliers
shit to it.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here. It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
How does one know that they're foundational American? I, a few years back, did a like an ancestral so I had just did on my father's side, right? But in doing all of this, and I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana, right?
Okay, right.
So I had just did on my father's side, right? And I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana.
We can trace back.
My family suffered from redlining and all that type of shit, because I know how you feel about, like, Jamaicans that come here right now, this generation, and they're able to get loans. My family didn't go through that. My family didn't get all that when they came here. We lived as regular black people. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. That would not, if they came over and they immigrated, because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can
Ellis Island.
Because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can Ellis Island.
Right.
I know the boat.
That's very different, because you can't get a reparations claim like that.
Because you can't get a reparations claim like that.
And it's very important to not mix it up.
But now keep in mind, this is just my father's side.
I understand that.
We all have two sides now. My mother's side, I ain't traced that yet.
Y'all would know who the southern side of her family was. So if y'all don't know, that means she's from the Caribbean. If I can understand that you don't know your dad, that's one thing. And your mom didn't tell you where your grandmother was from? Your mom didn't say shit? She had to come from somewhere, either immigrated from another country or came from the South. If she's black, right? It's just find out where your parents are from and where your grandparents are from. Your grandmother, if you knew your grandmother has a birth certificate, brother. Look at the birth certificate and see where she was born. And then see what her mother and father's name was. It's on the birth certificate. And then see where they were born. You trace it back like that. And if you can go all the way back to the 1870 census, that make you a foundational black American. All you got to do is just trace the parents back. Okay, some of these folks, you don't know where your mama's really from. Okay, like my mom's from New York. We kind of lost, and then, okay. But folks, okay. I don't know how y'all don't be knowing where your mama from. And you don't know your mama's side of the family. At least I can understand the dad's side might be a little sketchy, but you don't know your mama's side of the family? See, that raises red flags. That raises a lot of red flags from folks don't be knowing what their mama's side of the family is. All right. That's weird.
And I feel like they want us to spend our energy on this conversation when we really need to be focusing our energy on more practical things.
So when are we going to get ready? We're just not going to be ready for it. And what are we going to do? We're going to blame white people for systemically oppressing us for generations. Yes. We're not even going to try it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to. I'm not saying.
I know, but you just made the point that
African Americans won't get a piece of that. Whereas when it was vice versa back in 2016, the Jamaicans were saying, hey, African Americans, we want a piece of that too, because we were all on the same boat and just bumped off in different places.
Really?
But you see how the Jamaicans turned on it?
They're saying, African Americans, you don't get a piece of this. That's the talking.
But you see what I'm saying? How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to me, I see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to get a word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that. You know, if they trying to keep it, then we're going to keep our shit to ourselves. See, that's the type of attitude that they want to inspire by having these fucking conversations right now, so that we'll be fucking mad at the Jamaicans.
In action.
Coming up next, a forum titled The New Black Voice of the 90s. 3 panelists debate the topic, Staying Black or Becoming African American. Presenting the pro-black point of view will be Ali Muhammad, a spokesperson for the Nation of Islam.
It is with a great deal of pleasure that I give you Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad of the Nation of Islam.
I'm so glad that we are having this opportunity to discuss the issue that has been put on the agenda of whether or not it's time to change from being black into something that is being called African American. I am very happy to see that we have now grown in maturity as a people, that we are actually able to have such a discussion where in fact everyone does not agree with everyone else's view, but we have become such good brothers and sisters of one another that we are able to disagree and yet not become disagreeable. See, to equate African American with terms like Italian American, Polish American, Russian American is to destroy the reality of how we got in this country. We did not get into America with our nationalities intact. Africa is not a nationality. If you are from Nigeria and you have become a naturalized American citizen and you want to call yourself a Nigerian American, well, you help yourself. But that's not how we got here. We did not pass through Ellis Island. We did not take the course that qualifies you to take a test for citizenship. That's not how we got here. To equate the immigrant that you might have in the Greek American or the Russian American with the so-called African American is a gross distortion of history. We're not no damn immigrants to this country. We were brought here against our will. We didn't come because we had booked passage on a passenger ship and we were so glad to be here and this was the land of opportunity and freedom and equality and justice for us and we were looking to jump into the melting pot. That's not our history. We are those that were kidnapped and we were brought in chains in the holds of slave ships and we were kicking and fighting every step of the way, and when we got here, we could not be held down except by the most brutal methods. And even today, when you look and see what is used to hold the black community in check, it is the most ruthless and violent and brutal of methods that are being used today to hold us in check. So we don't want to rewrite our history. Let me say something else that's going to make you mad. I'm just going to say it and get off of it because you might not be ready to think about it. But I'm going to put it in your subconscious mind. It's going to come up later. See, even you are guilty of those of you who are advocating this African, you're guilty yourself of trying to distort your own history. See, you want to pretend like you are the same people that was brought over here 400 years ago. And that nothing happened to you since you've been here. You the same black African now that you were then. That ain't true. I'm reminded of Richard Pryor. He went to Africa. He asked the brothers in Africa, he said, "What tribe do you think I'm from?" They said, "The Italians." So you want to disguise your own history. So you want to pretend that you did not have people who rose up on the plantations in rebellion to slavery, who fought and killed and died to be free, and some of them were only able to run off in the swamps with the Indians, and they set up their own independent kingdoms right here in North America, right down in South America, in the Caribbean islands. It was the black man in league with the red man. They set up armies to fight against the slave master, and in many cases they won, in other cases they were defeated, but they left a legacy of struggle to be free. And now you want to forget all about the red man. You want to forget all about him, like your blood and his blood are not intermixed so much that you have really become like one people. I bet if I asked you the question, there's not one of you sitting up here that does not have the blood of the red man flowing in your veins. And now you know I'm coming to something else too, that you don't hardly like to admit. just as bad as white folks who also don't like to deal with it. See, when you look at yourself in the mirror, brother, you know why you look like you look. You know that slave master raped your grandmother. You know he went into the black woman and planted his wicked seed in the womb of the black woman, and that's why we're such a spotted up people today. And so when you just want to use this term African American, you're using it as a cover to hide yourself from what actually happened to you because you don't want to face the facts of your own reality. You're letting the slave master off easy because you're scared to call him a rapist. You're scared to call him a murderer. You're scared to lay on him everything that he did to us to destroy us as a people. But you yourself bear witness to it just in who and what you are. So don't deny yourself, man. What are you? Yeah, you are some of those people that they might call black Africans. That's part of your heritage, ain't no doubt. You also got that red man's blood in you too. And according to what we've learned, they traced their family history. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said they came here 16,000 years ago from Asia. They're Oriental type people. And you got that slave master's blood in your veins too. So it means a whole lot of you walking around with European genes. I told you wouldn't like it. And I told you you ain't ready to deal with it. But it's the truth. And so it means that you need to look at what God has produced in you. If we're living at a time of universal trouble and universal confusion and universal revolution, then there is a need for a universal teaching and a universal vision. There's a need for a universal people to rise up out of the earth to become the universal rulers for all people. And there is no other people who qualifies on the face of the earth other than the black man and woman in America. There's you, that's your destiny, and the sooner you are willing to face up to your divine destiny and play your proper role in the evolution of world history, then the sooner we will enjoy a kingdom of peace and happiness and true brotherhood for all men, regardless to color, creed, class, or national origin.
Which is funny how almost every foreigner has something to say badly about African Americans. Even Africans sometimes have to say about African Americans, but then everybody comes to America trying to be African American.
I'm not going to speak for my whole country. Love Jamaica. But I think quite a few Jamaicans think that you guys play the victim a lot. Like an outsider looking in, it's like, gosh, them complain about everything. Look how much opportunity them have. Look how them can work. Look how them can buy $1 burger. And them over there complain. And that is how I was preconditioned, if I'm being totally honest. They're like, Shante,
it makes sense.
Yeah, don't go over there and waste the opportunity. Don't go over there and start complaining. Work for your own, focus on that. So that's always been my mindset. We're so focused on just making it. I really want to emphasize that. But sometimes when you just are focused on, oh, you have to eat, you know, think say somebody a touch you. You know, think say, you know, oh, I'm not have the right temperature. I'm hungry. What y'all gonna do?
The way how African Americans prioritize blackness isn't necessarily the same way in which an immigrant would prioritize their blackness. So, you know how African Americans will say, oh, black writer, black creator, black artist, black lawyer, black doctor, black woman in STEM. No, when we come to this country, it's immigrant or nationality. Maybe our careers next, and then whatever else comes after that. So immigrant, Jamaican, marketer, whatever else comes after that. The issue that you're having is we don't see ourselves as one of you. And the reason that we don't see ourselves as one of you is not because of blackness. We just see ourselves as an outsider. The issue that you're having is
we don't see ourselves as one of you. And the reason that we don't see ourselves as one of you is not because of blackness. We just see ourselves as an outsider. We have.
So now let's move forward. So as an immigrant, I'm here in this country. What do I want to do? Put my best foot forward. What do my parents want to do? Put their best foot forward and give us the best opportunity they possibly can. Thank you, Lord, for my parents, because they did exactly that. But it's my turn as their child to hold the baton. And one thing I always say, my parents did not risk their lives to get to America for me to get involved in some political warfare. My parents did not risk their lives for me to get to America, for me to sit here fighting people all day. That makes absolutely no sense. And I think because you guys have never taken that level of a risk, you don't understand that level of responsibility and accountability. That's really the problem here. Because if you really risk your lives to have something, if you really risk your life to get something, you're not willing and ready to throw it away.
Just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it. How was that see you in 30? That wasn't an insult. That was strictly, you're black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not, word. You're not Ghanaian. You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban. You are American.
I farted so loud. Black Americans people, I don't like them because they take lots of drugs.
Really? That's what I think. But have you met any Black Americans in real life?
No, like in the movies. I didn't meet them.
Now, what do you think about the Black American culture?
Fucked up. I'm sorry. Is it the fact that humanity group that Black Americans? Yeah, and I actually feel bad for saying that. It's true. It's true. I know it's true.
Now, why do you believe that?
Because they mostly don't belong where they are. They're Americans. We all know they're Americans. They know they're Americans, but they don't belong there because they are minor. One for that. They are minor, and the racism and everything. They don't belong there actually. So they belong here, and they are not here. So they are fucked up.
That's really interesting.
So I have this tweet by McBeanie _ and they said African Americans are by far the worst representation of Black people. They are obnoxious, self-righteous assholes that make people's lives a living hell anywhere they go. And then she got like 390 likes.
Is she also Black?
No, I don't know what she was. But
Okay.
This is what she said. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's really a lot of hate, I feel like. But like my mom would agree with that comment. She would agree with that post. She would say like, you know, lazy, like loud, rude, all the negative connotations.
That's interesting. So let's explore that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, but I also will say that like my parents definitely came over here with stereotypes about African Americans.
When Africans are immigrating to the United States, their idea of African Americans, like, take away modern times where we have like the internet and everything, it's coming from TV, right? Where they're just seeing these rappers and these music videos, and you're seeing these movies and TV shows with people shooting guns and like cussing.
Ignorance from our parents as well. Our parents say things to us in which, at least I can't speak for African Americans, but I know Africans, our parents say things to try to get us to stick with other Africans instead of branching out, and for that festered. So now it just lives on as we get older. Okay, so I agree with her in that aspect, but also another thing I feel like isn't talked about enough is the way our parents will talk about Black Americans. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, our parents are not respectful. They will say things to try to instill within us to divide away from them, but like being lazy or not as clean or stuff like that. And I feel like that also helps perpetuate the divide, which also needs to be acknowledged.
Okay, so growing up, I had this idea, this ideology from the media, from people around me, that African Americans were these ghetto, noisy, arrogant, aggressive, just criminal.
So I think this was the intent of my elders as they reminded me to stay away from akatas. Akata is a derogatory term for African Americans. I didn't understand why at the time, because I knew nothing about propaganda, media, or anything else we'll discuss today.